basketball courts. Look like there's a lot of people having, I think, what is it, the field day? Is that what it is? The field day, I believe. I know they're having basketball games, sand volleyball, and all that jazz. So I don't know if anyone checked it out over there. I know they're having barbecue. All right. I'm just gonna break the ice a little bit, go around, interview some students that we have here so far. Um, we'll get the show going in about 20 minutes. Who am I here with today?
Ella Bowen.
Ella, where are you from and what are you studying?
I'm from Bay Mills, Michigan, and I'm studying American Indian Studies.
How has your experience here at Haskell been so far?
Very fun. I love it here.
A hug, good one, good one. Do you dance by chance? What category do you dance?
I dance woodland applique and jingle.
Oh, you're a healer is what they would say, huh? No, how was gathering?
It was super busy. I wouldn't go next year if it wasn't the last one.
Heck yeah, okay. Did you go to the golf tournament too? Just flew back right away, huh? Did you fly? Drove with Mr. Mingo himself. All right, for all you calling in late, don't be shy, don't be afraid. Send that Facebook post, make that Facebook, make that Snapchat, the Instagram. We'll get the show going here shortly. Don't be afraid to say hi. You see a familiar looking face, go say what's up. Don't be afraid. Also, I know it is stressful, these winding down for all of us. Um, I know we're all stressed and we're all ready for the summer for summer classes. You get a good little break there and hit the books. I think June 1st is the first day of classes, so day going on today on campus. You know, it's a little busy along with the trio graduate brunch. Just like I said, all good, a lot of good events going on today. So don't be afraid to send a message to a friend or to anyone to come check it out tonight. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna see some amazing talents today. What the Miss Haskell candidates are running for, why are they running, the reasoning why, um, and all of their jazz that they have going on. So, like I said, don't be afraid to send a message, whoever you want. And if you're sitting by yourself, don't be afraid to go talk to someone new and sit with a friend group, make a new friend group, maybe make that next friendship that will last a lifetime. You never know. All right, back to what I was saying earlier. We'll get the show going here in a little bit. But don't be afraid to send out that Facebook post, that Snapchat, that Instagram post, whatever it is. I know we got some of the fellas over here that are just rolling in. I think people are gonna slowly come here and there, and I know we have the field day going up north on the campus side of the basketball courts. I know they're doing their little fun games. I know they had a barbecue going on right now and had some good hamburgers. I don't know if they had any red wieners over there, maybe just hot dogs. So all right, I did get the go for right now. We said 7:10. That is the last call for what make grand entry right there. If you guys don't know me, my name is Rickson Bullcalf. My Blackfoot name is Natai Uppany. Holy White Buffalo, that is my Blackfoot name. I come from Browning, Montana. That is home to me. I grew up in Missoula, Montana, and I always say Browning's home because every time I go back to the res or anything like that, I just soak it up all right there. But I want to talk a little bit about the three candidates that we have for our Miss Haskells. Um, as you guys obviously are here today, have seen, took a vote inside the box, I'm aware. We got a lot of yachts and we got a lot of clans today, so that's what we'll be discussing. But a lot of amazing talent that's going to be showcased today with these three ladies who are obviously running for Miss Haskell. But a little bit about of the pageant week is it's more or less someone who wants to really get out of their comfort zone, taking that step forward of just embracing who they are and showing who they are through academics, through themselves, through their culture. It is a lot of, um, I guess, oh boy, geez, what was that? But it's just more or less just getting out of your comfort zone and actually wanting to do it. Throughout the week, I don't know if you guys seen any of the Miss Haskell candidates sitting around campus. I know they had some tables and they had some goodies and kind of buy your vote, kind of more or less, kind of like that. I think one of my campaigns I did last year was I kind of just sat around the library and kind of just talked to people. I didn't really set up a table or anything like that. But I also did. I went to the cafeteria. I went to Curtis, and I was just serving lunch, just like talking to people. I don't know if anyone's here, if they remember that or not. But I was just getting to obviously know people because as Miss Haskell and Haskell Brave and Haskell MX, it's about us. It's about the students. It's about what we want and what we would want better for obviously the school. That was what I did for my pageant. I don't know if we're ready, if we got to go. We all good to go right now? Right now, I'd like to introduce the now present Miss Haskell, Angelina Gallego, or 2025-2026. Give a round of applause for her.
Hello everyone, my name is Angelina Gallego. Like Rickson said, I'm your Miss Haskell 2025-2026. And I just wanted to thank everyone for coming out and supporting these group of girls. They really did work hard, and it's just show up and let themselves shine. Leadership looks different, and they all had lots of good campaigns during the week and different treats and different ways they were talking and getting out there. So I just want to acknowledge them and acknowledge you guys for being here. I think Rickson will take over the welcoming, but Pilamaya, yay for coming.
Let's give a round of applause for Miss Haskell. Hey, hey, doing it. Let's get the energy up, guys. Come on, let's give a round of applause for Miss Haskell. I know we got a very tough crowd out there, but you know that's what it's about. I think from now on, let's see. Like that's what I said. I want more energy from everyone here. It is a very tough crowd, as we see. Um, but no, send a text message out, get people here. That is what it's about. And I believe now is the time for introductions for our 2020, 25, our 2026, 2027 Miss Haskells. So get loud, get crazy, take your hair out if you have to, do all that jazz. So for our 2026 first contestant is Claire Lynn IZ. Second contestant is Nina Bitselli and Shanika Clay. Give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys just want to introduce yourself and maybe your native tongue and what your platform is, if you do have a platform, just get these people to know what you are about. So.
Yat esh edoshne she clearly nazinishe tanisa inishle na kedina e bashishi kiani deshe matashkishni deshanale akut ego stenigi nishle neda wait na dinshna he bege oba hosane de nasha. Hello everyone, my name is Clarilyn Izzy. I am of the Tango clan, born for the Mexican clan. My maternal grandfathers are of the Towering House clan, and my paternal grandfathers are of the Coyote Pass clan. This is how I identify as a woman. I am 25, or I am 20 years old, and I come from Pinon, Arizona. Ahihe, thank you. That's a shik edo shidina e shik shnika clay in the shed. Tanasan in the shed, Sanajini Bashishtin, the honor to che, Hanalahni Eda Shanale. Okut ego astonished, big and Bahotana de Nasha. Hello everyone, my name is Shanika Clay. I am born for the Tango People clan. My father is of the Blackstreak Wood clan, and my paternal grandfather is of the One Walks Around, and my maternal grandfather is of the Towering House clan, and that is how I identify as a Navajo woman. I currently live in Mesa, Arizona, and so that's how I present myself. So thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your three candidates. All right, ladies, you guys take your way off the stage right now. Give them a break, get them the nerves off there just a little. Give them another round of applause there. Like I said, we're gonna have a lot of yacht days today, so just be aware of that. But back to what I was saying. So here, after they just left, we're gonna be presenting one of their traditional talents along with their modern talents. As you know, it takes a little bit for them to get ready. So as soon as they're ready, and we'll get everything going so far. But I just wanted to give on the pageant show or the pageant week, what kind of goes through what what the candidates for Miss Haskell or Haskell Brave, Haskell MX, what they have to do to present themselves in order to be the one crowned at the graduation powwow Friday, May 8th. Kind of steps to it, and throughout the certain time it is posted through your email. There's a dates if you guys check out the dates, along with like interview questions. You'll be sat in like kind of a scary looking room. No, I'm just joking. But you go to Navari and it's just I guess 4 people who kind of just sit you down and ask what your reason is, your why, and why you're running. And a lot of it is just what you stand for as a person and what you want better for your students and for the school, along with an essay. I think it's like 250 pages, not 250 pages, jeez, 250 words that, yeah, I think it's 250, it might be 500, don't quote me. Um, but they'll do that after your interview, and then obviously tonight is the talent show. So that's where we have our 3 judges here, Lori Hasselman, Kelly Walker, and Angelina Adams right here. They'll be also asking the impromptu questions that um, is given to them. So I don't know if we're ready for our first one. We got the thumbs up. We good to go? Okay. All right. Get back to the lineup order right now. So, like I said, is a traditional talent, and then we will get that going. So, let's give a nice round of applause for our first contestant, Clairlyn I.Z.
Hello everyone, my name is Clairlyn Izzy. For my traditional talent, I will be showing you how to assemble a tie, which means Navajo hair bun, onto somebody. To begin with, I will be talking about my attire, the um, outfit, regalia, belt that I'm wearing. I was either given to it or given to me or made by my grandmother. And she has inspired me a lot, and I'm very thankful and happy that I still have her in my life and that she's still able to, teach me and remind me who I am and where I come from. So to start off, um, to start off, the materials you need is a tikol, which is the Navajo hair tie. You can use now modern day people use hair tie just to make it kind of easier to put the hair together. I'll be using a modern hairbrush, but originally back in the day we would use a bejo, which you can see is right here. We would use it just to brush out our hair and get all the tangles out. So I'll be taking off my rings because I don't want my rings to get like tangled up with your hair. So So, what I was taught from my grandmother, my family, my relatives is that your hair represents the rain, the clouds, the weather. Not only that, but it also represents your mind, the thoughts that you have, the knowledge that you gain, and the lessons that you were taught when you were growing up. And my grandma used to tell me that she would always, when I always said, "Oh, I want to cut my hair because my hair is too long, it's like getting everywhere," she would get mad at me and say, "You're not supposed to do that." So she used to tell me that when you cut your hair, you're cutting your brain, and when I didn't really understand that, I thought she was like, "Oh my gosh, my brain's gonna get small. I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna know how to do anything." But I think what she meant was, when you cut your hair, you're losing all that knowledge that you gain, all the lessons that you were taught and you learned, and referring back to the rain, the clouds, the weather. When you cut your hair, you're disturbing the weather. You're breaking that balance, and when the weather will start to be unbalanced. There'll be less represents the sunbeam. Um, so it's putting together, your your hairs representing the rain. You know, that it's the earth, which in our language is Mother Earth. Um, and in Navajo, it's Namana Hastan, and on the top it's Father Sky, and it's Father Sky because when you look up, you're looking at the sky. Um, but yeah, and in Navajo, the Father Sky is Chita Yiddish. And so here's the Navajo bun. Um, Now that her bun is all put together, she can think straight, she can focus, she can take all her knowledge and the lessons that she learned, and she can have a better education, a better journey in her life. And so this is it. And thank you.
Thank you there, Claire Lynn. That was an awesome showcase. I wish I had those meta glasses. Obviously, you guys can't really. It's you guys can see it, but from my point of view, right there, I think I would tie my hair into a knot. So it's obviously a very good showcase there. Um, a lot of history and a lot of culture that goes into the Navajo bun. So let's give it up for Claire Lynn one more time. Let's make sure she hears that backstage. Alright, as we have Miss Haskell here, our IT person. I'm not the very techie person. I was kind of messing with the slides earlier, couldn't really figure it out. So let's give a good, nice welcome for Nina Bitsili, if why not, our contestant number 2.
The Canada, which is the, oh, sorry. My name is Dina, and I'm going to be telling the story of the Canada and demonstrating this eye, which is the Navajo hair bun. medicine man and his singers chant the journey songs throughout the night, songs meant to guide her through her entire life, all the way into old life. The cake is cooked for about 8 hours. Around 2:30 a.m., they uncover the cake. Around 4 a.m., they begin washing her hair. After that, she does her final run, the longest run, and she is told to run as far as she can. As far as she can. When she returns, her mentor puts white clay on her face and hair and then
Get that back over right there. And I see you guys looking right at me now. And if you see a familiar face, say hi, say what's up, give it one of those awkward little waves, say hi. But for our last traditional talent, we will be having give a good round of applause for Shanika Clay, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello again. This is also kind of like sharing my platform. So I titled my platform Grounded in Tradition, Growing Through Opportunity. So again, a little bit about me. I'm Navajo and I'm from Arizona. I'm a junior here at Haskell and I'm currently a business administration major. Um, so these photos here kind of just represent showing who I am. Up there are pictures of my family, my brother, my sister, and my mom. And then down below is just I wanted to add that just to kind of share about myself. So I really love to travel. That's kind of what, like, my college experience. Before I transferred here, I came from a community college. And so through that, I was able to, get a lot of experience with traveling, and that's kind of how I fell in love with it. And then I also, again, because I'm a transfer, I got my associate's degree in criminal justice from Mesa Community College. So now I'm just working towards my bachelor's. So yeah. So again, my platform focuses, it's kind of grounded in tradition, growing through opportunity. And these are just kind of things that I want to focus on. So again, just encouraging students to kind of get out of their comfort zone. And I'm doing that today. Being up here, being a candidate for Miss Haskell is definitely out of my comfort zone. I like to think that I'm an introvert. I don't really go out of my way to, make sure that I'm known in spaces. So I'm doing, trying to work on that. And also, just, having students experience as much as they can. Um, and it also, ties into, the people around us, like the community and also, the schools. Like here at Haskell, I know there's a lot of individuals that have helped me throughout my journey here within the last year. So very thankful for that as well. And, just embracing our culture and traditions even while we're away at home, being able to I'm glad that Haskell actually, is able to allow us to express ourselves, represent ourselves, and where we come from. Um, and then again, just continuing to create a welcoming environment for students, just to make sure that they, feel seen, knowing that they belong here. Um, and then emphasizing inclusivity, cultural appreciation, and representation. And, we're all doing that by showing, different parts of ourselves here. And ultimately, the goal is just, to create unity and resilience among students here. So, yeah. And so for my traditional talent, I am going to show you my style of old style jingle dress dancing. There are some photos, and growing up, I, was fortunate enough to be brought into powwow dancing and through my family. So I grew up being a jingle dress dancer, and then in my teenager years, I transitioned to fancy, and then kind of just stopped after that. But once I started my college journey, I kind of wanted to get back into it. And, individuals around me, family, relatives have encouraged me. And, that's why I'm here today, showing you my style. And with that, I, wanted to get, when I wanted to get back into dancing, I really wanted to do it in a very heartfelt way, very positive way. And I told, myself getting started that I wanted to try, challenge myself to create everything that I have, everything that I need, to dance in. And my grandmother was also a very, inspirational person to help me along the way. She grew up sewing, so that's kind of where I got my skill from. And with that, I helped, asked her one day if she could help me make my dress, and she told me she was like, I will help you, but I won't do everything for you. And that kind of, made me challenge myself and figure out how to get things done. And it definitely made me more appreciate everything that I have, just a little bit more, knowing the time and patience that it took me to get from nothing to everything that I have on right now. So very fortunate. And yeah, and I also, really love traveling again. So, powwow dancing and traveling kind of go hand in hand, going to different places. So yeah, all around good experience. So now I'm going to show you my style of dancing. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Clay. Oh, watch the footwork, watch the footwork now. Hey, let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen. I can't really hear you guys. Come on now, come on. There we go, there we go. Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Clay, the old-style jingle dress dancer there. Good one, good one. What do you guys think so far? Give it up for your traditional talents there for our three candidates. Oh, good one, good one, good one. So, like I said, there's a traditional talent and there's also a modern talent. So, we're going to be moving on to our modern talent. It looks like the ladies aren't ready so far, but what do you guys think so far? Yeah, there you go. Who considered at least running or applying? Did anyone? I know we have some former Miss Haskells. We also have some former Miss Haskells here. It's just about getting out of your comfort zone. The thing about Haskell Brave and Haskell MX and Miss Haskell, we are just regular students just as you guys, There's nothing that I can't do that you guys can't, or there's nothing that Angelina can do that you guys can't. We're all equal. There's nothing that, like I said, we're all equal. There's nothing, we're not better than anyone else. We're not better than anyone else in this room. We're just students just as you guys. So I highly encourage you guys to get out of your comfort zone. Maybe next year apply for the, 2027, 2028? Possibly one of you guys in face Haskell. That's what it's about, so, yeah. Well, should we popcorn it? Should we ask some questions? No, just joking.
I got a question.
Yeah, what's that?
Do they have a Haskell Brady this year?
I guess that is a question that will be answered at the end of this. Yes, yes. both enjoyed during our time? Let's see. Obviously, I feel like it's that getting out of your comfort zone and just growing as a person, but also creating opportunities like this. I'm not saying I wasn't a yapper or anything like that before I got up here, but just creating opportunities, getting to travel, I guess getting to embrace Haskell, that culture, that legacy, traveling throughout Indian country, not just Indian country, but taking opportunities that are handed out when you are given. Then I think I took that for advantage throughout my Haskell Brady this year, but it's been pretty fun so far. Obviously, something I'll look back to when my time here is past. So, yeah.
Mine would have to be traveling, like Rickson was saying, but traveling to different conferences or different things, powwows, and just educating people that Haskell is still here, but also what Haskell was and like what we offer and just education, student-wise, and all the opportunities. Because we may be in a bubble right now of just Haskell, 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 but out in the world, I like to talk about us as much as I can. So that's been my favorite part.
No, but I think it's just one of the things I took away from it is, just not being afraid to talk to my peers or anyone like that. So, like I said, at the end of the day, we're all human. We all feel, we all sleep, we all eat, we all drink water. Hopefully, you should be drinking water. Um, but it's just talking to one another, getting to know another person, making sure you're okay and all that. But also, um, a question I have for everyone here is, we all think about it. We all want better for Haskell, and we can think about, we can say, oh, we want better dorms, or we want better food at cafeteria and stuff like that. But asking those questions and trying to solve that. So I guess how can we solve that? Those problems that we have here at Haskell, where we do want better and we do want this. It's just how can we all come together and obviously create events where everyone is joining and stuff like that. So it's kind of my why for it. But are we ready over here? All right, we got to go. So we're gonna go back in the same order here. We're gonna go Claire, Lynn, we're going Nina, and then Clay to top it off. But we're going back to our modern talents here. So if give a round of applause for Claire, Lynn, IZ. Yeah, the mic. Here's the mic if you need a mic.
Okay.
Oh, you got one. She's out.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Claire Izzy. Today, for my modern talent, I'll be showing you guys how to bake a banana bread. sugar, and then you add your eggs. You're gonna mix it up, and then the sugar will set into the egg, and the egg will also like combine with the sugar, so it'll make your banana bread more sweeter. And then once you're done with that, you're gonna take of your half cup, and you're gonna take any type of oil, and I prefer liquid oil, and then you're gonna pour it in, and while you have your fork, you're gonna be mixing your sugar and your eggs. You're gonna be mixing it slowly, and then you're gonna be drizzling over your oil at the same time. I would recommend going slow because if you go fast, the oil is just gonna come out and it's just gonna get all messy and everywhere. But I would recommend, going slow and just drizzling it over. And then once you're done combining that, you're gonna be setting it aside, and then you're gonna grab a smaller bowl. And this one, you're gonna get 3.5 ripe bananas, and you're gonna be putting in the bananas in there. What I like to do, I like to use my hands to really mush up the bananas. Sometimes if I'm making a big batch, or like I just kind of want to get an easier route, then I'll use like a mixing, like a electrical mixer, or I'll also use my fork once I'm done, getting enough smushing the banana. Then I'll switch to my fork, and I'll kind of just like get around the edges, make sure the banana is like really good. You do want some clumps of bananas in there, but you also want like a little bit of liquid of like from the ripe banana. And then once you're done with that, you're gonna be adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and you're just gonna take your fork again. You're just gonna mix it until it's really good. It'll turn kind of like a dark brown. And then once you're done with it, you're gonna take your bowl that has your eggs, your sugar, and your oil, and you're gonna be dumping in your ripe banana and vanilla extract. And then this is where your spatula comes in. You're gonna be scraping the bowl just to get all the extra like ingredients in there. And once that's in there, I would recommend a spatula. You're just gonna mix all your ingredients together. Make sure the sugar is combining with your banana, and there's like no oil on top, and it's just like a really good combination. And then once you're done with that, you're gonna be taking your big bowl of dry ingredients, and then you're gonna slowly pour it in. And once you got it in, you're gonna take your spatula again, and you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna scrape around the sides, make sure you get all like the ingredients in there. And then once you're done with that, you put that aside. And all your dry ingredients are all the way at the bottom, so it's gonna really be hard to like combine it all. I still recommend a spatula just to fold it in, make sure like all the ingredients combine together. And once you kind of get like a thick batter, then you can like mix it around. You can kind of brush through the edges, make sure there's no like clumps of flour in there, and you're just gonna keep on mixing. And then once it's all combined into just one batter, then you're gonna put that aside. If you don't have a non-stick loaf pan, then you can just get oil, and just take a napkin, put the oil on there, and then just scrub it around the pan, around the sides, the bottom, and then you'll take a couple of kind of like hard to say, like a handful of flour, and you're just gonna put it in there. You'll just like swiffer it around, make sure you get all the edges as top as you can, because when you bake, your banana bread's gonna be rising, and so you just want to make sure you get it everywhere. If you do have a non-stick pan, I still do recommend like putting flour in there. Usually when I do that, I just like sprinkle a little bit on the bottom just to make sure the bottom like nicely rises and it doesn't stick. But once you have your pan greased or pan ready, then you're gonna take the whole batter, and you're gonna be pouring it into your loaf pan. And you're gonna take the same spatula, and you're just gonna scrub the sides, the middle, make sure you get all the batter in there. And then once you're done, you're gonna put it your oven for about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on where your level and how high your oven can like heat up. Um, Most banana breads typically go for 350, but for my banana bread, I do 375, just so it can like even out. If you do want to add like walnuts and chocolate when you're done mixing your batter, then you can. I usually add 1 cup of the ingredient, and I'll just like I won't like mix it. I'll just slowly fold it with a spatula, and then I'll put it into the pan. And then yeah, that's how you make banana bread. Once you're done, it should be like a brownish. I would recommend brown. It's okay if it gets hard on the top. Once you store it, it'll get really moist, and the sides won't be as hard as it was. Make sure you let your banana cool. Once you take it out, let your banana bread cool with the pan. If you just take it out, then the bottom of the banana bread is gonna start peeling off, and you'll have like banana bread still stuck to the little pan. But yeah, once it's done cooking, you can slice it up and you can start eating it. But yeah, I also did bake banana bread last night and this morning. So after the pageant, you guys are more than welcome to come up here and grab a banana bread. I made plain, I made chocolate, and I made walnut. Thank you.
Ah, give it up for Claire Lynn one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, good one, good one. Hopefully you guys are gonna take that recipe into consideration and obviously do that some of your own. It's my next week we'll probably have a who has the best banana bread competition at the powwow. So yeah. So I believe next now, I so that was the modern talent. That's a wicked one. So now let's give it up for Nina Bitsili for our second candidate coming out for you. I believe she will be singing a song. Correct me if I'm wrong. But
Can you hear me? Pretty good. Go, my son, go and climb the ladder. Go, my son, go and earn your feather. Go, my son, make your people proud of you.
You know, it's silly, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Ah, good one, good one. All right, now I think Miss Hassel's gonna sing a song now. Yeah, yeah. No, but what do you guys think so far? Pretty snazzy, yeah, pretty good one. Now let's give it up for our third candidate there, Miss Shanika Clay, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello again. So for my contemporary talents, I chose sewing, and it's also tying in again with like my traditional talents. So I have some helpers here who are going to kind of bring out some stuff. So again, when I started to get back into dancing, I got a lot of help from my grandmother. She is a woman of many wonders and talents, and so one of them is sewing. I grew up, being with her, living with her, and there just always was a sewing machine around. And growing up, I would always get in trouble trying to push the foot pedal and like break needles and stuff like that. But now I take it more seriously and create my own things. So come on out, guys. Yeah. So sewing is also a way to express myself, really with like my designs. Um, And it's just, kind of to bring my visions to life. So sometimes I'll just, look at stuff, get inspiration from things around me, and like, seeing different color schemes and, trying to piece like different fabrics together. And it's also a way to like share with others. So because I really like to sew, and I can sew a lot of things for myself, but at some point my closet gets too full. So when I sew things, I have people in mind that I like to give them to, just to kind of show appreciation. And it's also a way, again, to challenge myself. Seeing, like this dress here, I actually made this here in the makerspace in the library with their sewing machine. And it took me many, many months just because when I started, I was very motivated, but then, being challenged like with having to change like the design of the ribbon was really hard for me. And so, I kind of got discouraged and would put it away. But eventually I finished it, so here it is. But I also have some other skirts. I really love to make skirts, and so that's kind of what I'm showcasing today. So this first one, I got the fabric from my cousin who works at a school on the reservation, and a lot of the teachers there are from the Philippines. So the fabric is from there, and I just kind of matched the colors of ribbon with the skirts. This is also really, really challenging for me to make too because I would watch my grandma and she would never use anything like I see people use like glue sticks or like iron on and stuff like that, but she just like freehand and trust her sewing machine. And so that's kind of what I wanted to try. So that's that skirt. And then this is a three-tier skirt. We call them like Navajo skirts just because it's kind of what we're like known for. Um, and this one was also one of the first that I made here again in the makerspace. So thank you USDA for providing sewing machine and supplies for me to bring my creations to life. But yeah, this one went with that shirt for my graduation. Um, yeah, and then the next one is also a three-tier skirt with a lace overlay. That one I wore when I received my associates for criminal justice. So yeah, that was the color of my school. We were like Thunderbirds, and it was like red, white, and blue. So yeah, and then over here I have Talia. She has on a shirt and a skirt, and so the skirt was actually like, me like trying to make Haskell inspired skirts, so that's why it's a lot of purple and gold, and then along with the shirt as well. So yeah, and it's also really tedious making things like this because you have to like pleat it and like you have to individually pin the like the rhinestones and all of these things, all of the buttons on there, so it's very time consuming. Yeah, and then I also have Clara Lynn. So for those of you that sewing, and it was also my first time doing any type of applique, so just imagine that it's very beautiful. But yeah, so again, with challenging myself, like I wanted to see if I could do any type of applique work, and that was the first thing that I did. So yeah, that's kind of me and my talent of sewing. So thank you.
I believe she is taking orders. Clay, are you taking any orders? So ladies and gentlemen, she is taking orders. But Miss Haskell, did you do anything for a modern talent or contemporary, or what did you do?
My talent was making traditional Lakota style acrostics. Me and my she Jeremiah, my uncle Jeremiah, back when I was in middle school, we would make them. And so that's what I shared, how to steam the wood, how to bend it, how to string it, because I used to play on a traveling lacrosse team, so that's what I did. What did you do?
No, I think I counted to 10 in German. I'm just joking. I didn't do a modern talent. I did a traditional talent, like you said. I think I just sang a song, sang one of those cool songs. But yeah, she's in spotlight. But right now we're gonna move on to our contemporary questions. Sorry, excuse me. We'll be moving on to our improv questions given by our judges here. We have Angelina Adams, who's also a former Miss Haskell. Kelly Walker is also a former Miss Haskell. Lori Hasselman is at the University of Kansas there. I'll give them the mic and have them introduce themselves if they want to or anything like that.
Good evening, and thank you all for coming. I just want you to know it is really tough being up there and doing a talent, even if this is a smaller audience, it's really tough. So I remember doing it, and it was right here. I did my interpretation of the Apache Crawl Dancers because I am San Carlos Apache. And for me, when I was Miss Haskell, the biggest thing that we did was we went and we played for the halftime performance for the Washington Redskins Dallas Cowboys game in 1977. So next year it'll be 50 years that I was Miss Haskell in 1977. And I can still remember being on that stage and my name being called out, and I couldn't believe that I won. And I actually, Kelly Walker's and Debbie Payne, who was my first runner-up. So I am forever connected with Miss Kelly Walker. So here she is.
Hello everyone, my name is Kelly Walker. I'm a worker at Halftime Comanche, and I was Miss Haskell in 2012, 2013, but we won't say that. But we'll just say it was in 2020. I don't like saying my age, it kind of ages me. But I would just like to thank everyone again for coming here tonight. Like Angelina said, it takes a lot of courage to get up in front of your peers and share your knowledge, your traditional teachings, and the things you enjoy doing. I just encourage anyone here that maybe has a thought of running, just take a chance, do it. It's really fun, it's a good experience, and it allows you to meet the other contestants who become friends and creates a sisterhood, brotherhood, just a friendship that lasts a long time and exposes you to different things you may have not experienced on campus and in the community. I'd just like to say good luck to everybody. Good job to the current Haskell grade and Miss Haskell. You did a wonderful job. It was really cool seeing you at all the different events and the different things that you did and you spoke on. Again, that's it, and just looking forward to the rest of the competition. I'll go ahead and give this mic over to Lori.
Hello, Chucky Wade, the voice of Paxamoki. Lori Hasselman, Yutesiko Samo, Anila no Kila Nape. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I hope I said good evening right because it's supposed to be said after dark and I can't see outside because there's no windows in here. Anyway, I hope you're having a good evening. I'm Lori Hasselman. I'm a citizen of the Shawnee Tribe and the Delaware Tribe. I'm the director of the Office of Sovereign Partnerships and Indigenous Initiatives at University of Kansas. I graduated from Haskell in 2017 with a bachelor's in Indigenous and American Indian Studies. I was also in media communications here. I have an AA in media communications, so shout out to all the media folks here and those who are live streaming. That's really a nice benefit to have, be able to see this online. Congratulations to all the candidates. They're doing a really great job, and I feel so honored to be able to be here and be in community with everyone. And I don't like to use the word judge, but that's also fun too. And I would also like to give a shout out to Rickson and Angelina, and such a good job that they did over the last year and helped me out personally with other students in so many different ways. And so that's another benefit of being Miss Haskell and Haskell Brave is that you get to engage with other Native students and other universities in so many different spaces. So I would just, again, to reiterate what the other judges said, encourage everyone to apply next year for the candidate. And congratulations to all the graduates. Hope to see you at graduation next week and also at the powwow. Thank you.
You guys keep the microphone right down there. So how it goes is for the questions. Let's give it another round of applause for our ladies here. Yeah. I know we also have some forms in this Haskell that I can't really see that far. Is that Kansas and AJ and Alma? I can't really see it. I've got my readers on, but how the questions goes, they'll get two questions each from our ladies here. We have a piece of paper that we'll hand them. They'll read them the question, and then they'll get get their time to answer their question. And I think it was pretty simple questions that we got last year when I guess the school was established and stuff like that. With this building named after, just history around school itself. So if we could have our candidates come out, Claire, Lynn, Nina, and Clay, please come out, ladies. Give a round of applause. Woo! All right, so Angelina here is gonna have them pick two questions, or just one right now, just one. So this is the first round. We have a second round. So once they pick that, we'll give the questions off to our ladies over here. Okay. All right. So we have this question for you guys, and then just Angelina, and if you want, you could read the question to them. And there's that microphone right there too. That's the question, yeah.
Okay, Miss Clarelyn. Haskell was established in the boarding school era, but has evolved to the great university that we know today. How would you describe the revolution of Haskell when criticized of Haskell's history as a boarding school?
To answer your question, I think that where we are right now with technology and people's mindset with social media, I think that we can turn that. I would say that coming here, I knew it was a boarding school, but I never saw it as a negative way. I saw it as a journey and us fighting back from colonization, and I think that where we are now, we improved so much, and in my opinion and my perspective, I think we're just growing from here, and we're leaving the past into the past, and we're letting that past kind of guide us into a better future, not only for Haskell or the image of Haskell, but also for the students, for the staff, for the faculty, and that's my opinion. I can see Haskell have a lot of benefits for students, and for me coming as a first generation in a low income single parent, Haskell has taught me so many things and given me so many opportunities, and I can see the potential Haskell has. Boarding school, it's just they've learned, what people made them vision it as. But for me, boarding school, I think, can really benefit, a lot of people. And for me, I look at it as a positive way and a benefit way for not only me, but also for students, staff to grow together and get to, create relationships and connections.
All right, we'll move on to our Nina Silly here for our second question. Here's our question.
As a public figure, you are expected to hold a professional demeanor. What are 3 attributes of your character that make you a fit for the title of Miss Haskell?
I think I'm a good role model for not just students, but like being a student athlete. I do hold like the title of being a role model, being a team leader on my team. So that position puts me into like thinking what else I can be a team leader in, not just in my sports, but academic wise, and also being an older sister too. I come from a big family. I have seven siblings at home, so I definitely take my leadership role very seriously because I know there's young people out there that watch me, and not just from college, but also from high school as well. So I love to go back and meet all the people I used to go to school with and tell them about Haskell and what I'm doing. And this, even too, I can go back and go home and tell them I did this, and it'll just be a good example for what other people can do. Being a first generational student helps me tell my story more to other students that don't feel like they have a place being here. It's possible, dreams are possible. And maybe my future job, whatever I land to be, I plan to be a midwife, so yes.
Give it up for Nina there, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, good one, good one. So you can keep that microphone, Clay. She wants to pick a question there. I kind of came down here to be more remote, so I might ask one of you guys a question. So be ready. Got the question.
Haskell Indian Nations University has been placed. Haskell Indian Nations University has been placed and a launch pad for many influential people and historical figures, many of whom have buildings on campus that honor them. Name one person you have learned about while at Haskell and why their story or legacy is important. What has been the most significant influence or factor in your academic success while at Haskell? Did you get all that? Okay, let me try this again. I think the question is, name one person you have learned about while at Haskell and why their story or legacy is important, and what has been the most significant influence or factor in your academic success?
Okay, so very long question, but thank you. I would say that the one name that popped into my head was Jim Thorpe. So I, sometimes go to the gym, try to lift a weight or two. But having like going there almost every day and just seeing, the name titled at Jim Thorpe Fitness Center, made me like, want to get to know more about who he is. So one day, me and my friend were in the library, just looking around the bookshelves, and then we saw like a really big, thick book, and it was about Jim Thorpe, and we were like, oh, like, we knew that he was a student at Haskell, but I didn't really know anything else besides that, other than, the fitness center was named after him. So we were looking through the pages, and he actually helped kind of form the National Football League, which I thought was very interesting and very cool. Like, I didn't know that, I'm not a football fan. But I thought that was really interesting, having a Native American and also having representation, in these very big scenes. also a Navajo student from the University of Kentucky that was drafted in the NFL with the Cowboys. And so, just showing like representation like that, I think is very good for us. But yeah, that would be the one person that popped into my head was Jim Thorpe. And what was the next part of the question?
It was. I think you answered the question. That was it. Yeah.
What has
Yeah.
influenced your academics?
I would say the people, like the faculty and staff here at Haskell, coming here. This is actually like the very first time that I've been submersed um, in like I guess around other like Native Americans. I grew up in the city, and so I was like one of three students that were Native American, and so coming here to Haskell, it definitely was a bit of culture shock because everybody was like we come from similar backgrounds, but also like the faculty and staff here who have really like encouraged me and motivated me. I don't mean to like call out people. But like I had an advisor who was actually here today, Antonia, and also like Rita Gibb, Judith Gibb, and Michelle Byington. I'm part of the Power Club. I love to go there and practice, and so they have been very encouraging, as well as Joe Bointy. He came into our class one day and showed us how to make moccasins, and that's how I made my very own. So just having very knowledgeable people around campus that are willing to share their knowledge with us and things like that. And so I'm like very grateful and fortunate that Haskell has faculty and staff that are willing to do that for students. So yeah, thank you.
Give him a praise that he's never. Good one. She got a question to the question to the question. When you think about that, thank you, Lori, for reading that whole paragraph. I know we said question, but as people clock it, sister, clock it, sister. I think we're gonna bounce around here a little bit. We're gonna flip the order up. I don't know if we'll go Nina first this time.
Okay, it's going to be short. This is going to be really, really hard for you, okay? You have to tell me what is your favorite traditional food?
Everyone's gonna laugh at me, I know, but it's mutton. I know.
Oh my God, we should give it up for that, ladies and gentlemen. I did. Oh, that was a tough one. That's a question to the question to the question again to the question again. Whoa, wait now. All right, so we'll go back to Claire Lynn now.
Okay. How do you use your social media platforms to recruit potential students to Haskell? Ooh, that is a great question. So, when my platform is leadership, education, and empowering our cultures and traditions. Couple ways that I want to, I guess it was influencer. Yeah. If when applying for Miss Haskell, I had a title, Miss Eastern Navajo Fair Power Princess, 2024 to 2025, and when I was traveling around to different powwows, round dances, going to schools, I really enjoyed it, and I got the opportunity to meet new people, tell them about the Navajo Nation, try to like make people's perspective in a positive way because when for us, I think now Navajos like when we're like introduce yourself and we're like, oh yeah, like I'm Navajo, they're like, oh,
early during Native American month. And, with my sister, we also like performed at different schools, and we got to show, our culture and our traditions. And, when traveling too, I get to meet new people. I get to tell them about like my outfit, my regalia, what it means to me. And, I still want to do the same. I still have connections there. I do want to represent Haskell too, and tell native students about the benefits coming to Haskell. Because Haskell, like, not to like, it's in a positive way, but when you come to Haskell, you're basically coming here for free. It doesn't like, I think toward like for every like the fees is like 700, like 715, 725. And if you get, Cal, it covers that and you'll get money back. So basically when I tell like my family, like I'm going to school, I'm getting paid to go to school. And not only that, but I also get opportunities. I'm part of the TRIO program and also an intern there. So I get to travel with students to conferences, different leaderships, and I get to meet other students and tell them like about Haskell and what Haskell has done for me, and why I'm going there, and also like bringing back into education. I talk to when I go back, my mom or my grandma would be like, oh, I told this person you were going to Haskell, and like they want to know more about it, and they know like what you've done, and I'll talk to them like not their like parents, but I'll talk to their child, their daughter and son, and like show what Haskell can actually bring to them and how they can benefit with them, and let them like network and how that can help them. Also, like it's a tribal college, so you'll get to know other Native students and you get to learn about their cultures too. I also, go back home to the reservation, and I have people at my old high school, or like my Pinion High School, at Chinle, many farms, and I have those connections still. And when if I miss Haskell, I want to go to that high school, and tell them about Haskell and the benefits that they can gain from it, and tell them like how it has impacted me and improved the future that I want to have.
Thank you there, Clay. Good one, good one. All right, now let's save the best for last. Clay, hopefully she didn't get no paragraph again. Let's see what we got here.
How did you prepare for the Miss Haskell pageant?
Well, I had a lot of help. A very good friend of mine, Tori, was very helpful in helping me, like encourage me and figure out, what I wanted to do. I didn't tell anyone that that I was going to be running for Miss Haskell until I sent in my application. And then when everyone got the mass email, that's when, it was like, surprise, I'm running for Miss Haskell. But I prepared in ways of like, wanting to table. So I had in mind to like table around campus and just kind of put up flyers and things like that. So, just creating flyers and putting down like my platform, like what I wanted to represent, stuff like that around campus. And for the past couple of days, since Monday I was tabling, so, going to like get snacks and things like that. And yeah, I think that's kind of really all I did to prepare. And I guess, just really like thinking about how I wanted to represent Haskell with the title of Miss Haskell. It took a lot of like, thinking about what I wanted my platform to be based around. So yeah, I think that's pretty much how I prepared. I'm trying to think of like other things that I did, but yeah, within the past week, I think just tabling, letting people know, talking with students, and if they had any questions, answering them, kind of spreading the word again on my platform. So yeah.
Also, give it up for our three candidates here. That wraps it up for our interview improv question. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Hey, now, hey, hey. There we go. Yeah. All right, thank you. you, ladies. Thank you, ladies. If you guys want to leave the stage, leave the stage. Thank you, ladies. Let's see it one more time. One more time. One more time. Hey, hey, hey. All right. So we got the main event. That was the main event right there, and obviously your vote matters. And like I said, it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So hopefully you guys got your votes in for the next Miss Haskell. Who do you think wants to represent the school and represent all of us and represent you guys? But I also want to pass the mic off to our Miss Haskell here, Angelina Gallego. She has her, I guess, send-off speech, is if you want to call it that, but she will give off her final speech before she is not the Miss Haskell no more. So.
He's being a little dramatic, making me want to tear up. But like he was saying, I just want to give a quick little speech and just thank everyone, my friends, my family, my peers, my professors, my bosses. I am an intern here. Lori at KU, I'm a Sloan student as well. So all my KU family, and I am gonna cry. But I just want to say thank you for believing in me, and I feel like I grew as a young woman myself, and seeing everyone here behind the stage, and getting all excited. The girls were so excited and practicing and, meeting each other, and all of that just made me think of last year when I did it with, the group of girls I was with, and so it was really fun to like see that and see them so excited and like all their ideas and what they want to do, and like it's just so fresh, and so I really want to say thank you for coming out for them. I know like they're your family. Sorry. So yeah, I just want to say thank you. I will be having a special to just honor the time that I had here, and to honor my family and just my community. And so yeah, I hope you come out to that. Sorry, my voice is shaking, but I just want to say thank you.
Give it up for Miss Haskell, 2025, 2026. Oh, and right. Sing the song, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just joking. Give it up for Angelina Gallego. There you go. We got a blanket for you. There you go. Good send off.
Sorry about that. Now I want to introduce Wixon. He's already up here. We're not following the program so good, but he's going to give his speech, his send-off, question mark. Like that question you guys said earlier, we're going to hear what he has to say about that.
Sorry, guys, think I'm gonna cry. Let's see, where do I start? First of all, I want to thank my dog, my mom, my fish. No, I'm just joking. I applied for Haskell Brave again this year, so I'll be carried on to that next year. So you guys got one more year with me. Yeah. So to answer your question, that's where I am. So I guess I'll be the 2026, 2027 Haskell Brave for you guys once again. I'm looking forward 6-7 G's. Missy, what the heck? No, I'm just joking. But no, this year has been awesome. It has been fun. It has been a lot of memories that I've made and I'll cherish forever. Just like going to Washington, D.C., traveling to California, traveling from West Coast to East Coast, representing us, and then obviously getting out of my comfort zone more. I know I seem very comfortable on stage and talking to everyone here, but I really wasn't like that, and Haskell Brave has really brought that out for me. Just getting more comfortable, obviously talking to everyone here and on stage and when we do events and stuff like that. But moving forward, I feel like as students, we still have a lot more work to do to each other. We, even though we didn't, this is a really good outcome. Next year, I want more people applying. Obviously, the numbers to go up, and obviously to get more people here, and obviously get more people involved in stuff. Just like when we have basketball games, volleyball games, and whatever we have, just more people actually being more a community, more of a school, and kind of just getting out of that shy zone. But I really don't have a speech or anything like that. Just you guys are stuck with me for another year, so thank you guys. Alright, so I think I did it, guys. Not just joking. No, but I'll have candidates come back up if we want to make our candidates come out. I think we have a surprise for them too. Alright, I got some tricky questions for you. What did you eat today?
I ate banana bread.
Banana bread, hey. What's your favorite color?
Turquoise or blue?
Oh, lit. Alright, let's see. What's your favorite movie that you watched in the past 72 hours?
It's a show, Young Sheldon.
Yeah, alright. But now give it up for our candidates here, ladies and gentlemen. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Yes, exactly. Do you guys want to step out there more? Ladies, if you guys want to bring the gifts for them. Got some flowers, and it looks like a purple box, a mystery box. I don't know what's inside the box, but there must be some goodies.
You guys want to see what's in the box?
Got an unboxing video right here, so if you guys want to get the videos out, you know. Holy cow, look at that. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. No, but I'm just gonna, leave it here. This isn't Christmas or anything like that, but I just wanted to say thank you guys for coming out tonight. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you to our candidates for being here. Let's give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Also, a crowning for Miss Haskell will be Friday the 8th, around, I don't know the exact time, but probably after grand entry. So thank you guys, and see you guys around. Hanya. If anyone wants to stay for pictures too, you guys are more than welcome to come up. You guys are more than welcome to come up for pictures, anything like that. So, yeah, and there's banana bread. Don't forget the banana bread.
Wait, which one is this again? Plain.
You got